Billionaire Elon Musk is leaving his role as a government top advisor after just 4 months on the job. It comes a day after he criticised US President Donald Trump's budget plan. Musk had been hired to slash bureaucracy and fraud, but he became increasingly unpopular with US voters and some in Trump's inner circle.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
Trump's disruptor-in-chief Elon Musk took the reins at the newly created Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, in January. He vowed to slash federal spending by at least $2 trillion. Employees were fired, and aid programs were cut, triggering a wave of protests and lawsuits. Some Americans argued that Musk, an unelected government employee, was unlawfully dismantling federal agencies. Amid the backlash, Musk announced in April that he would be scaling down his work at DOGE to focus on his business ventures. Just days ago, Musk said his department was being unfairly blamed and that he spent too much time on politics. He then announced his departure on his platform X, writing, "As my scheduled time as a special government employee comes to an end, I would like to thank President Donald Trump for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending. The DOGE mission will only strengthen over time as it becomes a way of life throughout the government." Musk's special contract was limited and was due to expire at the end of May. Still, his departure comes after he criticized Trump's sweeping tax and spending bill, stating that it's too expensive and would undermine his cost-cutting mandate, marking their first public divide. Trump admitted he's not happy with certain parts of his centerpiece legislation, but said it's crucial for the economy.
If that doesn't get approved, this country is going to have a 65% increase in taxes and lots of other problems, big problems. Almost bigger than that. But we'll have a 65% increase as opposed to the largest tax cut in the history of our country. We will be negotiating that bill, and I'm not happy about certain aspects of it, but I'm thrilled by other aspects of it.
Trump's first buddy leaves the White House claiming to have saved around $160 billion, far short of the $2 trillion he promised. The world's richest man will now focus his efforts on his companies, SpaceX and Tesla.
Let's bring in journalist Anna Altcheck. Anna is a business and tech reporter at Business Insider and regularly reports on Elon Musk. Great to have you on DW News. So Elon Musk's contract was always limited until the end of May, but is it right to say that somehow it feels like it's quite a sudden and for some even premature exit?
I think that it is a little bit shocking to see him leave, but we did have knowledge that he was going to be taking a step back this month anyways. We know that there was a lot of pressure for him to leave his government position. And so I think this was the natural step forward. But of course, it is, a big change from where he was a few months ago, extremely involved with the government. So I think it is a little bit surprising, and it's a little bit weird that now he's, not a part of it anymore. But we did see signs that he was going to leave his position in the somewhat near future.
Well, in what way have Musk and DOGE reshaped the United States? And what were those signs, actually, just jumping on what you said there?
Yeah, so like I said, he at the last earnings call, he said he was going to be taking a step back from DOGE, starting in the next few weeks. And he said that he would, still be participating in the organization as long as President Trump wanted him, but he hasn't been particularly present over the last few weeks. We know that investors have asked him to step down, and there was, a lot of backlash from his involvement in DOGE. So definitely it was what was best for the company, I think. And Elon Musk also has gotten a ton of backlash, just against himself for his political involvement. So there was that. At the beginning of his involvement with DOGE, it was a bit chaotic. There's been about 20,000, federal government cuts since DOGE was enacted. He's, he said that he has saved about 160 billion. That's not quite, what he wanted to save going into it. He said he wanted to cut about 2 trillion, but he said, it's not finished. It's still ongoing. So we'll see how it actually turns out. But there definitely has been a lot that's happened over the last few months. We're seeing it slow down a bit now, but it was definitely an active few months when he got started.
Now, Tesla shares have tanked since Musk took on his role at the White House. Has he profited then from his political stint in other ways, perhaps?
I think it's hard to say at this point. It's only been a few months since President Trump came into office. It's only been, a few months since Elon Musk was involved. What we can say is that it didn't seem to have a great impact on Tesla. Tesla in general, it could be doing better right now. We'll see how it does in its next earnings, and it has some big launches coming up. But there was definitely some brand damage. There's been a ton of harassment and vandalism towards Tesla and its owners over the last few months. So in general, I wouldn't say it's been great for the company. We'll see how things play out. We'll see if there are long-term benefits to his relationship with Trump, if it continues to be a positive relationship. But as of right now, it's really hard to say that he's really benefited from his, position in the White House. That's not super clear from what we've seen with what's happened to the company.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be hearing from Elon Musk in the future. I think he'll be disappearing. Now, you've reported on Elon Musk for some time. How have you experienced his personal evolution in the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think he definitely has taken a turn politically. He has become more, vocally conservative and, definitely aligns right, which is different from what we saw before. And Tesla originally appealed to more of a Democratic audience originally. So we've definitely seen a shift in that way. He's always been outspoken. He's always been kind of radical in his movement. He's always been very intense with cuts at his companies. So that kind of behavior we've seen before, but definitely the political involvement is new. And he said, that his political alignment has evolved over time because of the Democratic Party and things that happen in his life personally and issues he was having with red tape around his businesses. But so that part is new, but the parts of his personality, we've definitely seen his behavior before.
Anna, great to have your insights. Business Insider reporter Anna Altcheck. Thanks for joining us today on DW News.